Man, Josh Allen is pretty good. It's time for a segment we are calling Control, Alt, Compete. It's got the best music of any segment we've ever done. And here's what we do. We discuss what every team needs to do to reboot for 2021. We are making our way through the AFC East, so we continue with those Buffalo Bills. Let's see what they changed. I forgot Emmanuel Sanders is now up there. That's wild. He's added on offense to replace John Brown. They took Greg Rousseau with the 30th overall pick in this year's draft. Basham and Rousseau, very excited about that. Even though I just pronounced both of those names incorrectly, it's okay. Adam Rank's State of the Franchise series is up right now at NFL.com. He asked one simple question, gents. In order to compete in 2021, the Buffalo Bills must do what? Catch up.
Thank you, Mustard. We've had any Grey Poupon? No, listen, yesterday the Bills social put this out about Josh Allen. It's a statistical thing. That's yet another impressive thing what he did last year. 4,500 yards, 35 plus passing touchdowns, 5 rushes. First player in history, ever. No one's ever done that before. That's how good that season was. That's how amazing he was. And guys, what they have to do is he has to be much better. He has to make another jump. That right there, not enough. Didn't get it done. Not good enough to beat the Chiefs. Not good enough to get to the Super Bowl. I think Josh Allen now is the standard. You hear people saying, well, they need to make a Josh Allen-like jump. It's almost like in the dictionary. The people are saying, Daniel Jones needs to make a Josh Allen-like jump. That's great. But he only jumped to the title game. And if you ask him, he will say over and over it wasn't enough. So Josh Allen, as spectacular as he wants to, you got to be better this year. Because you know that devil wearing 15 in Kansas City is not going anywhere. And if you want to beat him, you got to go quantum. You got to go Bacula on this thing. More rushing touchdowns, fewer turnovers. And as we talk about often on this show, fewer erratic plays and big moments where you get too excited and the sugar high kicks in. So Josh, spectacular season. You just have to be better, and I know you know it.
It's pretty obvious what the Bills think they needed to get better at, which was pass rush. That's what they did in the draft. Their top 2 picks, Greg Rousseau out of Miami, one-year producer, had a monster year as a redshirt freshman in 2019, then opts out for COVID in 2020, didn't play at all. Guys played one college season, 50.5 sacks that season, but one college season. They think that he can be a guy who can make an impact for him. Then the second round, they take Boogie Basham out of Wake Forest. One of the interesting stories in this draft. One of the best names, of course, in the draft. A guy who was really productive at college. Runs like a 4.59 40 at 270-plus pounds. Could play him inside, could play him outside. The questions on him were just, does he really want it? How good does he want to be? You watch the highlight reel and you go, I want that guy on my team. The combination of those 2 picks, they're hoping to take a step forward for a team who's the best pass rusher the Bills have had in about 20 years. Yeah. Mario Williams at the end, maybe. It's not a great list.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Getting back to what Kyle said before I jump into my point, Calvin Johnson once put up like 250 in the game.
Yep.
And I remember being in a meeting, the receiver meeting, and our wide receiver coach, Sean Jefferson, said, CJ, great game, but it wasn't enough. And we're all sitting back, it's 250. Like, what do you want this guy to do? He looked at CJ and said, you're going to have to put up like 300 yards for us to win. The next game, Calvin put up 300 yards. This is in 2013. I'll never forget that. So to your point, even though he played great, yeah, he still can get better.
Calvin was like, I got you, coach.
Yeah, I got you. He didn't say anything, just nodded his head like a machine. Go ahead, Kay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I just couldn't.
I thought I was next.
Take the Megatron.
I thought it was going like this.
I couldn't disagree with you guys more. Are you guys kidding me right now?
What do you mean?
What
could this possibly be going?
It's crazy to expect so much from Josh. You just showed me historic numbers nobody has done. I can't believe you're agreeing with him.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
They need pass rush. Guys, look at their rushing numbers. They got 33 yards per game from their entire backfield combined in their 3 playoff games last year. You cannot expect Josh Allen to do it all. What did you call him? The devil?
The devil in Kansas
City. The devil wearing 15 wasn't winning a Super Bowl until the defense got really good, right? That defense had to come and play and be an elite defense. That was the question, and they did that. You cannot expect this to be. If this is all on Josh Allen, we're going to have a Devin Booker situation where it drops 40-50 and they lose. I'm just telling you right now. NBA reference Nate Burleson.
I see you, Kay Adams. I like that. Listen, I'll take it back to one of my favorite quotes to end what Kyle is saying. If better is possible, then good isn't enough. And if better is possible, then just Josh Allen being good
makes me nervous.
Enough. He can be better. But for me, I'll take the third phase of football, which we don't talk about often. The question is how are they going to compete? They're already competitive. It's not how they're going to compete. It's how they're going to complete the job. And they have to have help, not just on offense or defense.
Are you going special teams?
Special teams. Listen, what else is there? Kay, to your point, what else is there? How much better can we be? Listen, they have to be special on special teams. Here's some stats that you might not know. The Bills, 2 total kickoff/punt returns in the last 6 seasons.
Okay.
It seems like a long stretch for you to only have 2 punt returns or kickoff returns for that matter. How about you put a huge emphasis on special teams? That way, when you need that third phase, when you need that special play, when you need that one moment that can change the complexion of the game, special teams can provide that. Because we know if it's in the playoffs and a special teams play happens, a touchdown on punt return or kickoff return or a block punt, like that is an absolute game changer. And that might be what they need. You look at what the Kansas City Chiefs did, it's not like they were so much better than the Bills. It's just that the Bills needed a few more plays, and you can get that in special teams.
You don't have to get those from Josh Allen. I'm serious. I would love to hear from Bills fans who obviously love you and love the show. They can't afford a drop-off from Josh Allen. Josh Allen has to show that last year was not an anomaly. He has to show that he belongs in the elite of the NFL, that his name belongs in the dictionary, as you're saying, but to expect more from him, I don't like it.
5,000 yards.
Yeah, but there is reason to expect we could, because still so young, still 1 year with Diggs. Like, maybe he does. He actually really could be better than he was last year.
But it can't be on him that he needs to give more.
I think everybody does, but I think most of all he does.
Especially with the deal that he's going to get. Like he's going to get.
He might get that by this afternoon.
And on top of that, when you look at, he had 4,500 yards. Is it fair to just ask him for 5,000? You look at some of the guys that have done it recently. You know, Dak Prescott was tapping at the 5,000 door. Jameis Winston hit for 5,000.
Breeze did it 5 times.
So if these guys can do it, Josh Allen at this very young age, who is still getting better as a passer, like, I believe asking for 5,000 isn't a big ask at all.
You brought up Dak Prescott. Is that because you know you have a burr lesson right now?
That's right, of course.
Let's talk about it. What we got?
We got